understandable in secular terms, and goes something like this: that there was a primordial clash between God and the devil at the beginning of time, and this sort of set up this cosmic struggle between good and evil. But the devil is not strong enough to dethrone God. So what does the devil do? He picks on the things that God cares about. So for example, Genesis 1, 2, and 3, why did the serpent target Adam and Eve? What did Adam and Eve do to the serpent? Nothing. But nevertheless, it is the devil's idea that if the devil can ruin God's cherished creation, this is a great revenge on God. And the anti-Semitism comes really from the same root. Why? If the Jews are the chosen people of God, the devil goes, all right, I'm going to throw these people out from their ancestral land, from the river to the sea. Not only that, I'm going to take their holiest site, the site of the Solomonic Temple. I'm going to stick an Islamic victory arch right on top of that, called the Dome of the Rock, adjoined to an Al-Aqsa mosque. In a sense, I, the devil, I'm going to go sit on the holiest site of Judaism and Christianity.
A nation in turmoil, its pulse racing under a storm of division. What's happening to our country? From fractured streets to global ripples, chaos seems to be tearing at the seams of America's foundation, shaking the world's stage. But who's orchestrating this unraveling? Is it a shadow within our own government, pulling strings to cling to power? A foreign hand, flexing influence to destabilize the West? Or something deeper, hidden forces, manipulating from the dark, with motives that stretch beyond borders and into the unseen? One thing's certain, this isn't by chance. The truth is out there, and it's more unsettling than you might think. Stay with me. We're diving into the heart of it together. Let me speak straight from my heart to yours. This is personal for me. I started this channel because I've always been obsessed with politics, conspiracies, and digging deep into research to uncover what's really going on. There's an art to it, a challenge I love, connecting the dots and helping you see the hidden truths that shape our world. But here's the deal. YouTube's trying to bury channels like mine. They slap us with dangerous content labels, throttle our reach, and make it hard to keep this fight alive. I've poured my heart into building this space, and I need your help to beat their game. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts, subscribe, and share this video far and wide. Let's show them we won't be silenced. All right, let's dive in. I want to be upfront. This video is going to take several twists and turns. I'm diving straight in with a shocking event, weaving through history, hitting hard on political schemes, and touching ancient power plays. Stick with me. I'll tie it all together into a story of hidden control. This isn't just about Charlie Kirk's death. It's about a decades-long web of influence. Stay to the end. We're unraveling this together. Let's rewind the clock to understand the roots of this control. Picture 1963. A young president, full of fire, staring down the machine.
It's up to you. It's strictly up to you. Cause it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy, he wasn't just any leader. He saw the dangers brewing in the shadows of our own government.
From this time and place, to friend and foe alike, that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed.
Specifically, he was ready to shatter the Central Intelligence Agency. In a fiery speech, he talked about fighting against secret societies and monolithic conspiracies that hide from the light. But JFK went further. He issued an order to splinter the CIA, break it into pieces, and rein it in before it swallowed our democracy whole. What happened next? Dallas, November 22nd. Shots rang out, and America lost its boldest voice. Official stories point to a lone gunman, but dig deeper from declassified files to whistleblowers, and you see the fingerprints of an agency fighting for survival. The CIA didn't just survive, it thrived. It morphed into a powerhouse, pulling strings on everything from elections abroad to whispers at home. In my view, that day marked the start of an unchecked era where one shadowy group could steer the ship of state without oversight. And folks, that power, it's only grown. Fast forward to 2016. A real estate guy with no filter shakes up the race. Donald Trump outsider, disruptor. But the old guard wasn't having it. Enter John Brennan, then CIA director. In my opinion, based on what we've learned from reports and leaks, Brennan crossed lines that should have never been touched. He pushed for investigations into Trump's campaign, using intelligence tools meant for foreign threats against American citizens. It was like weaponizing the spy game to rig the board. Laws bent, rules ignored, all to paint Trump as a puppet of foreign powers. And he wasn't alone. James Comey, FBI head at the time, jumped in too. Remember the emails? Comey timed leaks and announcements to hammer Clinton while softening blows on her, then flipped the script to undermine Trump. In my eyes, it was a tag team effort. CIA feeding intel, FBI amplifying it. Their goal? Stop Trump before he could expose the rot.
FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email system during her time as Secretary of State. After a tremendous amount of work over the last year, the FBI is completing its investigation and referring the matter to the Department of Justice for a prosecutive decision. This investigation began as a referral from the Intelligence Community Inspector General in connection with Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email server during her time as Secretary of State.
Comey even admitted later to wearing a wire on the president-elect, trying to build a case. These weren't mistakes. They were moves in a high-stakes chess game where the pawns are us, the people. Now, here's where it gets sneaky. Once the big players set the stage, they bring in the understudies to sell the story. Secondary figures, pundits, insiders, even former allies step up to echo the accusations. Lies about Russia, about finances, about everything under the sun.
I have been authorized by the Department of Justice to confirm that the FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. And that includes investigating the nature of any links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government, and whether there was any coordination between the campaign and Russia's efforts.
And nothing but the truth, so help you God.
From the moment these memos' existence was revealed,
I created records after conversations.
high anticipation and high drama. The memos painting a picture of the focus on then National Security Advisor Mike Flynn in the early days of the administration as Flynn was under investigation by the FBI.
It's classic misdirection. Flood the airwaves until truth and fiction blur. But let's talk manipulation tactics. Because this is textbook. In the art of influence, you don't just attack outright, you infiltrate. Take folks who were once skeptical of Trump. You know the types. Smart, outspoken, with big platforms. They start strong, dropping truth bombs on real issues like government overreach or media bias. It builds trust. This person's on our side, we think. Then, slowly, the pivot. Criticism creeps in, timed just right to sow doubt.
Played out recently. Nonetheless, the main question here is, why did Tucker say that he absolutely despises Trump in private messages, and then later publicly He said nothing but good things about Trump, in fact, endorsed Trump and donated the.
He's the single most repulsive person on the planet. That is Tucker Carlson saying that about Donald Trump.
In my opinion, we've seen this with voices like Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens. They come out swinging for what's right, win hearts, and suddenly the tone shifts against the one guy threatening the status quo. Now, full disclosure, this is just my take, pieced from watching patterns over years. And hey, it's possible even they are caught in the web. Maybe handlers appeal to their passions, say, strong feelings on foreign policy or cultural clashes, whispering just enough to nudge them off course. Issues like tensions with Israel get amplified, turning personal fire into public division. It's not about judging them. It's about seeing the playbook, divide the room, and control slips right in. So how does this all tie together? Here's the revelation we've been building to. Charlie Kirk's passing on that Utah stage in September, it wasn't isolated. In my view, it was a desperate strike to halt momentum. Kirk wasn't just a speaker. He was a force mobilizing young patriots behind Trump. And Trump? He's not playing small. His plans include gutting the CIA, dismantling the very beast that took out JFK and targeted him in 2016. Brennan, Comey, the echo chamber, they're all cogs in that machine. Kirk's voice amplified the call to break free, so silencing him was step one in stopping the reckoning.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them. And we need the intelligence community. We don't know what's going on. Look at the Russian hacking. Without the intelligence community, we wouldn't have discovered it.
Do you think he has an agenda to try to dismantle parts of the intelligence community? I mean, this form of taunting hostility.
Whether you're a super liberal Democrat or a very conservative Republican, you should be against dismantling the intelligence community.
But here's the deeper layer. Beyond just politics, this isn't only about gripping a nation. It's part of a larger design. Our country has always had strings attached, layers of influence pulling from the top. Money trails, backroom deals. It's been that way since the founders warned of cabals. Trump threatens to snap those strings, to end the cycle of hidden control and shady dealings that keep the elite fat and the rest of us in line. Yet, peel back further, and you see echoes of something ancient. A hierarchy rooted in old pagan ways, hierarchies of power that view the world as a stage for a coming order. Not just human ambition, something darker, preparing the ground for a monarchy not of this earth, but influenced by forces that Scripture calls demonic. It's a collective agenda, hidden in plain sight, using division to pave the way. Think about the distractions being sown right now. Voices, maybe even well-meaning ones, fanning flames of resentment toward Israel. It's not random. Flip to Revelation 16. Demons like frogs leap from the dragon's mouth, gathering kings for the great battle at Armageddon. Those kings could be nations, leaders, or everyday folks caught in the rhetoric. But here's the key. They're pawns, tools in a grand misdirection. The real fight isn't over borders, it's here, in our own house. And people we trust are being used to spread deception meant to control, to hide the real agenda, and maybe even unknowingly.
You think the presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good?
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it. In my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled, physically mauled. Yeah, by a demon. Or by something unseen that left claw marks on my sides, oh, they're still there, a year and a half ago. I had these terrible pains on my rib cage and on my shoulder, and I was just in my boxer shorts, and I went and flipped on the light in the bathroom, and I had 4 claw marks on either side underneath my arms and on my left shoulder.
Revelation 16 paints a chilling picture. Demons like frogs leaping from the dragon's mouth, gathering nations for Armageddon, manipulating hearts to sow chaos. Scripture shows us this isn't new. God, in his sovereignty, has allowed demonic spirits to grip those who defy him, driving them to madness in their quest to control others. Take King Saul, tormented by an evil spirit after rejecting God's commands, his paranoia and rage turning him against David, 1 Samuel 16:14 through 23. Or consider Judas Iscariot, entered by Satan to betray Jesus, his mind twisted to trade truth for 30 pieces of silver, Luke 22. Even Nebuchadnezzar, before his beastly exile in Daniel 4, was humbled by divine judgment for his pride, his madness, a warning of demonic sway over a defiant heart. These stories echo today's battle dark forces nudging influencers, leaders, or even crowds to divide and dominate, all while the real fight, as Revelation warns, brews on a cosmic stage. Donald Trump faces relentless attacks because he's an outsider, unbound by the secret societies that presidents like George Washington and John Adams warned about. Groups that have tightened their grip on our nation for centuries. His fight to expose their control makes him their greatest threat, just as JFK was. But the deception we see now is only the beginning. Whispers of an ancient plan point to the Antichrist uniting the world through a staged global crisis, a rumored alien invasion with holograms lighting up the skies to herd humanity into submission. As Revelation warns, stay grounded in truth. The battle for our freedom and souls is just starting. Phew. Thanks for riding this roller coaster with me to the end. If you're still here, you're part of the solution. Drop a comment. What's your theory on how these pieces fit? Have you spotted other signs of this web? Your voice matters. Let's build this conversation. As I said in my last video, pointing fingers overseas is just smoke, blinding us to the takeover unfolding at home. If you haven't seen that one yet, check the link in the description, watch it, and let's connect the dots together. Like, subscribe, share if this hit home, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay vigilant, stay free. God bless.